Hello, how are you guys doing? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We are watching birds and I'm being philosophical as always. The birds are drinking out of that green bird bath. It's beautiful. A larger bird came and drank out of it, and then there are some that have red hair on the head and like auburn on the body, and many different birds. They're just enjoying the paradise that Paul put up there on the balcony, and it's so wonderful to see. And a bird with lots of little dark brown dots on him, on his chest came, and a beetle eater. He has a long beak, and I think they must be very rare, because those are exactly the birds we want in the forests, because they are the ones that pick up the bark beetles and eliminate the bark beetle infestation. So bark beetles are killing trees, and the reason why that is because the winters are not as severe anymore, and a lot of the larvae, they don't die during the winter. That causes a drastic increase in the population of bark beetles, which then hatch in the summer, and then there are too many of them, and the trees that are already struggling with immune disorder, they are the first ones to go. And then I heard that the bark beetles even carry a fungus on their bodies, which is a hijacking fungus, which gets carried from one tree to another by the bark beetles, and that fungus then can set a hold onto the tree and infest the tree when the tree is struggling from stress. And so it's like a big long cycle that is going on. And this spotted bird here with the long beak, he eats those bark beetles, and we need more of those birds. And that's why my appeal to the public is, don't shoot birds. Don't shoot any birds. Okay, there are only a few of those ring-necked pigeons left. They are very large pigeons, large in size, and they live in the Pacific Northwest, and they have like a white stripe around the neck, and then they are very dark gray colored, the body. And they're very docile but very scared. They look around themselves all the time because hunters shoot them, and now they are dwindling in numbers. And that spotted bird, I've never seen this bird ever before in my whole life, so that's a completely new to me, this bird. And probably bird experts know which bird that is or what name he has, and I don't know, but I can tell by the shape of his beak that he is picking out bark beetles in the trees. So we need those desperately, they can't be suffering from pesticides and shooting and trash lying around, and fumigations and trash burnings, and all these things that is going on in city dwelling areas and rural areas as well. So we need to live in tune with the animals, and not in detachment, and not in neglectful ways of living. So we need to become aware of what the animals need, and then live in tune with them. And that's why I make videos, hopefully getting the word out Even if I just reach one person and change one person's choice when he goes to the hardware store, that will be already worthwhile for me making the videos. But go out there and tell other people and spread the word and make your own videos and tell other people, okay? So we can only get this done if we all help, if each person helps. This world here is not about one person telling other people what to do. This world is about knowledge seeking, learning from one another. That doesn't mean that one person who teaches is now a guru who's elevated onto a pedestal. That doesn't mean that by a long shot. What we want to do is we want to, when we have good information, pass it on. Okay? That doesn't mean you have to become a guru or have to have followers. That just means pass the information on to as many people as possible. And then each person who learned it from you passes that on as well to as many people as possible. That's how anything gets spread, like exponentially, you know. So that's what we want. Please help us do this. Okay? This is very, very important. And so, yeah, I wanted to talk about a bunch of things. I don't even know where to start. I would like to meet Stephen Hawking. I'm a huge fan of his, and my husband is too, and we would love to meet him. We would love to talk to him, but I would just, it would be a thrill. For me, it would be so much fun to have someone to talk to like Stephen Hawking. That would be so awesome. But yes, I will talk to anyone who is interested in philosophy, you know, not just Stephen Hawking. I have talked to philosophy professors from Australia, US, Germany. I've talked to psychology professors when I was studying psychology at the university. I talked to professors at SMC. I talked to teachers in LA. I talked to many different people, but they don't stick around, you know. They join me for a while, they walk along the path with me, and then they part, and I don't ever see them again. And I would like to meet people who are enjoying talking about philosophy, and that's all I want. I just want friends who I can talk to about philosophy, because I think it's fun, you know, to go up to the heights, to the high mountains, as Friedrich Nietzsche always said. He said it's lonely up there in the clouds, and indeed it is lonely, and it made him so lonely that he got sick. His immune system suffered from it. But that doesn't mean that just because it's lonely up there, you know, as somebody said to me, a Republican said to me, if you like Hillary Clinton, be prepared that you will have no friends. And I was like, that's exactly nailing this thing on the head. That's exactly what I thought it is. People don't like Hillary Clinton because they're afraid not to have friends anymore. So that's a very pathetic reasoning. So I don't go that route. I could never ever possibly go that route. I'd rather be alone up in the clouds and maybe shoot myself in the head at some point later on if I can never have any friends and I suffer so bad from loneliness. But I'd rather do that than go against the truth, you know, go against what I know is true. So yeah, I invite other people to do the same, because the more we stay true to ourselves and to the truth, the more people will do it. Therefore, the more chances we have to find friends who also do it, right? If more people do it, that's just logic. If everybody caves in to the corporate agenda, and you have a bunch of like girls gone wild type of friends who drink and tweak and are like interested in looking like a movie star, then, well, that's not exactly fun, right? That's not brain liberating. It will not create extremely brain liberating, enlightening, and thundering thoughts and conversations. So therefore I invite you to come up to the heights and believe in the truth and in yourself instead of religion and the corporate bandwagon. So become true to yourself no matter what. Okay, that's the groundwork, because you will feel better when you do this all the way around. And then later on, the plus side of it, will also find more friends who will do the same if more people do it. But even if nobody does it, I am gonna stay by myself. I'm gonna stay alone. I'm gonna stay the nerdy, dorky, aspy bitch who just does her own thing and so on. I will not conform to girls gone wild, barbecuing, meat eating, 500-pound people. I won't do it. It's just not gonna happen with shallow conversations and all of this. It's not gonna happen for me. To the Republicans is, a lot of you talk about rapture. The rapture is gonna come, and I never read the Bible, so I just hear these stories from people talking about it, and they say rapture is coming. What you think of, like the Satan is coming in form of some kind of velociraptor who's flying down and rapturing like a raptor, rapturing people away. And so I think this is totally misinterpreted by everybody. I think what's going to happen is, and there's always things happening in the course of evolution, of course. And so the next thing that will happen, and I don't mean that I believe in any prophecies, but if there are any prophecies at all, then they're definitely misconstructed. What will happen is that, first of all, the Jesus that the Republican people worship, if they met that Jesus in person, they wouldn't recognize that individual or that energy as Jesus. They would recognize it as the opposite, as that what they fear, Satan. That would be the real Jesus. The Satan, the accuser, the one who cares and who stands up and who speaks out. Okay, and that's exactly what they're against in reality. So everything is completely reversed with them. Everything upside down, inside out. And that's why I make these videos, to shed some light into this. So rapture, some form of rapture is probably going to happen. That's just the course of evolution, has always happened. Okay, in many different shapes, forms, and events. So the next rapture is going to be, first of all, we're having overpopulation. Okay, people bring this on to themselves, but it's the very people who are afraid of rapture who will bring it onto themselves. The very people who accuse that what really is good as bad and reversed, and that what is bad, really bad, they think is really, really good. And so they are going down with it. That's calling their own demise. And So the rapture is going to come in different shapes. Global warming, weather catastrophes. You see it happening. You can deny it as much as you want to, what is happening. Okay. Then the AGIs, that might be some form of rapture. Okay, but we're going to be gradually merging with it. People like you would have been shooting someone for developing a mobile device. Now you have a mobile device, each one of you, and you take it for granted. Now it's like, alright, now I take it. Now it's beneficial. But first, really, like taking the gun out and shooting the people who develop the self-driving cars. Later on, everybody has it, uses it. There's no more who drives at the end of the party. The car drives you. You can drink as much as you want to. No more accidents. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah, it would be pretty good, yeah. But hey, first we have to get the guns out, And so this is what is so unbelievably frustrating for me to see, is this all through the door panic, without brain power at all, without any kind of foresight, thinking, evaluating, planning, maybe, using the prefrontal cortex, maybe, instead of getting the gun out, instead of getting the F words and the D words and the S words out, and the G words and so on. So maybe we can calm way down, and think a little bit into the future and plan a little bit. Think what's about the consequences, what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen if you are dirt poor and you have 10 children? What is gonna happen? Okay, the budget is not always gonna be there for people on SSI. What are you gonna do then, right? It's gonna be difficult. Is the planet Earth endless? That's what a lot of religious people think. Is this endless? No, it's not endless. It has a specific circumference. I don't know the exact data of it. Look it up on Google. It has a specific data, a specific measure. Okay, it's like a ball, like a basketball. So it has a specific circumference and volume, and same with that, just bigger, but not that big where we can endlessly reproduce. Not that big. So eventually there will come a time, and it's already getting a little tough for the other species. Other species are dying out, becoming extinct. More and more species, which puts a real tremendous stress and strain on the ecosystem, which causes the forests, the trees to be under stress. They have immune system too. Just because they don't have a central nervous system doesn't mean they're not alive. They're fully alive. They have an immune system, immune responses even. And when they are weakened, the bark beetles and the fungus can set foot in there and can get a hold of it and kill the entire individual. So, and this is happening now in increased rates. People don't want to admit to it because of their Granfalloonism, because of their religion, because of their peer group belonging, and so on. Let's think this through, people. Let's step back. Let's stand still and think about this really, really good. Each person has the duty to do this for your Mother Earth, okay? So you take care. Peace out, bliss out.